Imagine walking into a massive Walmart, but instead of their usual brands, the shelves are entirely stocked with Target's up-and-up products. It is a physical retail impossibility. Yet, in the digital world, this exact scenario is becoming reality on millions of smartphones. For over a decade, Google Play has maintained a strict monopoly over how Android users discover and install applications. If you wanted an app, you had to go through Google's checkout aisle. Controlling the only door into the ecosystem gave Google the power to set the rules. Every time a developer sold an app or a digital item, they were forced to hand over a massive 30% cut of their revenue straight to Google as a toll. For years, developers grumbled about the missing revenue, but this walled garden architecture was accepted as an absolute law of the mobile internet. No one had the leverage to break through the concrete. Then, in 2020, Epic Games decided to test the walls. The publisher behind Fortnite intentionally bypassed Google's payment system, triggering a ban that immediately escalated into a massive antitrust lawsuit. The dispute kicked off a bitter, multi-year legal war over digital ownership. A jury eventually handed Epic a decisive victory in 2023, ruling that Google operated an illegal monopoly. By 2025, Google's appeals and challenges at the Supreme Court had failed. Facing a strict court mandate, the two companies finally abandoned their ongoing legal maneuvering. Starting on July 22nd, Google enacted a settlement protocol that actively dismantles the foundational architecture of the Android ecosystem. The court bypassed standard financial penalties. They ordered Google to physically rebuild its software infrastructure to directly host the very rivals that sued them. Originally, the two companies explored a lighter compromise. They proposed a registered app store program that would make sideloading, the somewhat clunky process of installing software directly from a website outside the official store, a little less intimidating for average users. That plan was scrapped. Instead, they moved forward with a much more aggressive court mandate known as the Play Catalog Access Program. Under this new mandate, rival app stores will bypass complex web downloads entirely, hosted directly inside the official Google Play Store itself, a literal store within a store. To ensure these rivals compete on day one, Google must share its entire application catalog with them for 3 years. Google Play is no longer a solitary storefront. It has been forcibly converted into a digital shopping mall, where users can browse and download fully stocked competitor markets. Because this overhaul stems from a U.S. district court order, this specific open ecosystem is strictly limited to users inside the United States. Setting up shop requires meeting strict criteria: a financial barrier of a $5,000 upfront security fee and a $5,000 annual maintenance fee. Additionally, partner stores must actively monitor networks, capping global malware install attempts at a maximum of 1%. For the software creators themselves, the transition requires zero effort. Developer apps and game listings will automatically port over to these alternative stores, though they retain the ability to log into the Play console and manually opt out. These financial and technical hurdles represent Google's attempt to comply with the court's order for immediate competition while trying to maintain baseline security standards for its user base. For the average Android user, this back-end restructuring carries immediate financial implications. Alongside the store changes, Google was forced to lower its commission for apps using alternative billing, dropping it from 30% down to as little as 10%. Developers are now legally permitted to bypass Google's payment processing entirely by placing links inside their apps that direct users to their own websites to complete a purchase. Lowering that mandatory tax significantly reduces overhead for software creators. In a competitive market, that margin flexibility clears the path for direct price drops and cheaper digital goods for consumers. This knee-sound infrastructure creates a massive opportunity for major publishers to cut out the middleman. The industry is currently waiting to see if a heavyweight like Microsoft will capitalize on the moment and launch an independent Xbox mobile store directly onto Android devices. With the gates finally open, what alternative app store would you actually want to install on your phone? Let us know in the comments. It took 6 years of relentless litigation, but Epic proved that digital borders can be breached. The monopoly is cracking, and control over what software you run and what you pay for it is shifting back into your hands.